Okay, hello everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to get onto this call. We are live from Arizona. I just want to check that everything's okay with the signal. So I'm just going to unmute Jane Brown just because I can see there, Jane. Can you hear us okay?
It's a bit breaky, but it's not too bad.
Okay.
Little bit jolty, but
if we start going too bad, can you unmute yourself and just let us know?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jane. Okay, so you guys probably already know that a group of us, 7 of us from England, earned this trip for Areas in Paradise. You've got myself, Regional Vice President Danny Wells.
Sorry, I've got my mouth. Jennifer Cowie, Executive Area Manager.
Woo!
Kelly Bromley, National Vice President.
Yeah, you are.
Jenna McCarthy, Executive National Vice President.
Woo! Oh yeah, I'm in the $1 Million Club as well. Forgot that part. So
and don't forget me, left on my own by the pool. Look, they've all abandoned me to go inside. Suzanne Dwells, Area Manager, National Vice President in qualification.
Oh, hang on, we've just got something going past. Honestly, you can't get the stuff.
I just have to tell you all, it is beautiful out here.
It is.
Though I have had a few drops of rain on me. Was
that me jumping in the pool earlier?
Yeah.
No, it was just now.
So each of us are just going to share a little bit of information from our weekends away. So I'm going to start first. And I thought that what I would do to start is to explain how we've actually got here, how we earned this, and how you guys can earn this for the next time. So this is actually the 14th year that Executive National Vice President Donna Johnson has run this incentive. It's an annual incentive that's run every March. And how we earn it is the qualifications do differ slightly. Well, they did between last year and this year. But how we earned it this year, I'll explain, and it will likely be really similar for next year. So make sure you write this down so you know how to earn this trip next year for you and your team. So it is for area managers and above. So anyone that promotes to an area manager, and as long as they maintain at the area manager level, which is 10,000 QBs running through you and your team's business in total, you'll be invited to this trip. All expenses paid once you get into Arizona. I haven't actually spent anything other than actually getting here. If you are a regional vice president, which likely most of you will be next year, then you have to bonus 3 out of 4 months. And the months that it was last year was November, December, January, and February. So you have to do one of your bonuses 3 out of those 4 months to earn this incentive. Or if you have 6 people attending this incentive, so 6 people within your central region or central nation that have earned this trip, you will be automatically eligible to come on this as well. And then if you're a national vice president, which again some of us will be next year, then we can choose to run this incentive for our team. And we spoke about it this weekend because Susan McCannon is our national vice president and she does pay for us to come on this trip. And we sort of had a bit of a discussion and we decided that we're going to continue with this every year. So when you're in my nation, Fiona's nation, Zoe's, Jen's, Kelly's, Suzanne's, whoever's nation you're in, we're still going to do this trip so that you'll still earn it for next year. And we'll put that on for you guys. So that's how we earned it. So I'm just going to share a little bit of history to our team. So this is for anybody that's on this call that's in Fiona's, Zoe's, or my region. And anyone that's on the call that's a side team, you'll probably be interested to hear this anyway. So Donna Johnson was actually in a previous network marketing company before Arbonne, really successful with a group of other people. And then Arbonne launched and Petter wanted the best of the best within his team. And he introduced a lady called Thea Donahue. Is that right, Fiona? Yeah. Thea Donahue. To come over to Arbonne, and she looked at it, took a look, thought fantastic, yeah. So she decided to leave her other network marketing company to start with Arbonne from scratch. And she actually sponsored Donna Johnson into this business. So Donna Johnson, who she knew from the previous network marketing company, said, wow, that looks fantastic. I want to be involved with Arbonne as well. So this is 29 years ago. So Donna said yes to this business. And then what she did was she started building her team, and she was the first regional vice president, the first person to be in that white Mercedes. And there actually wasn't a national vice president level back then. There was just the 3 levels. And because of how well she was doing, Peter Mork actually just created the national vice president level because he wanted to recognise her for doing something amazing. So that was why we have 4 levels. That's why we have that 4th level. So Donna was working her business incredibly well. And she actually employed or brought in a lady called Rita Davenport to be a speaker at one of the events. So Rita is a motivational speaker. She had her own chat show. She's really successful in her own right. She's an author, really, really famous just by being Rita Davenport. And she was brought over to be a guest speaker, and she spoke for all the Arbonne consultants. And she listened to what Arbonne is all about, the culture that we have, how we want to help people, the products that we have, the business that we have. And Rita thought to herself, I'm, earning all this money, but if I don't work, I don't get paid. So she took a look at Arbonne and thought, hang on a minute, I could build a network by helping other people to become the best versions of them, and I could earn a residual income. So she decided to start her own Arbonne business. So Donna Johnson sponsored Rita Davenport, and then Rita got to work. She started building her business, and quite early on, she phoned up her friend Julie Newcomb, and she said to Julie, I've just started this business. I can't really explain it, but it's absolutely amazing. I need you to come to my house because the founder of this company, Peter Mork, is going to be there, and they're going to explain it to you and a few other people. I need you to come and take a listen to this. I don't know if this is something that's going to be for you or not, but you need to come and make that decision for yourself. I can't decide that for you. Get your bum over, this time my house. And what Julie said was at that time, she was suffering really badly with chronic fatigue, ME, she was depressed, she was suffering with anxiety. The last thing she wanted to do was to build a business. That was the furthest thing away from her mind. But when Rita said all this to her, she felt the excitement, and she thought, I want to be around some positive people. I'm in bed, I'm bedbound because I'm miserable. I want to be around some nice, happy, positive people. So she decided to go to what we would know as Rita's launch, but I don't know how she explained it back then. So Julie got out of bed and went to Rita Davenport's launch, listened to the business and thought, oh my gosh, I've never heard of anything like this in my entire life. I am all in. So she started her business. And then she told her best friend Susan about this business, and Susan actually said no, because she was, this is Susan McCannon. Susan McCannon was already at the top of a different network marketing company, and she'd already done 2. She'd already got to the top of 2 network marketing companies, so she wasn't looking at joining a 3rd one. But 13 years later, they stayed really good friends, and then Susan sort of thought to herself, I really like the fun that Julie's having in her business. I've never known the amount of fun that Julie's having with Arbonne. With the other 2 companies Susan had been with and got to the top of, they didn't have the fun that we have. They didn't have the culture that we have. They didn't have the helping sidelines, the helping everybody, the going above and beyond to help people, the products. They didn't have all of that. So Susan came up with Julie to a Green Bay retreat, which I'll explain in a little bit. And Susan just thought, do you know what? This is all me. This is me. This sits in line with my purpose. This sits in line with my beliefs. So Susan McCannon decided to start her business 13 years after Julie had said yes to Arbonne. And then Susan McCannon went on to sponsor people. So her daughter, and she went on to sponsor people. And that's where Fiona came along. I'm sure Fiona will explain how she was introduced into this business. And then the people between Susan and Fiona have, for different reasons, decided that it's not a fit for them. So Fiona's direct to Susan. So that's a bit of a history from our background. And then Fiona obviously sponsored Zoe, and then Zoe's gone to sponsor people, and then I've come in from that success line. So I just think the history and the heritage to our business is amazing. And one thing Julie said to her last night is, she goes, you do realise that you guys have got 4 global multi-million pound what we call $1 million club, that's what we're called, aren't they? $4 million club earners in your upline. And we were like, yeah, we have. And she says, when you tell people about your business, you need to tell them that your leaders, the people in your success line going up, you've got 4 of the top 10 in your success line. And I was like, yes, we have. In the top
In the
four.
top
It's the top four.
Yeah.
It's the top four.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
incredible.
that is incredible. I don't know anyone else that's able to say that. So our history is huge. And she said, make sure you're telling people that, because that is massive. And if you were looking at any other business and someone was to say to you, the person that coaches and mentors me, the person that coaches and mentors them, they're in the top 4 income earners of the entire world in this business, that my jaw would hit the floor. And I think we kind of took that for granted a little bit, didn't we?
I don't think I realised.
Yeah.
actually, until
Didn't realise.
speaking to them. And, you know, we've all been really, really lucky, I guess, because Susan's taken time for each of us. I'm sorry, I'm jumping on.
No,
on it,
do,
but
yeah.
She's taken time out of her weekend to give each of us one-to-one coaching. So, you know, if you're in the Bromley area, you know, your mentor has spoken to the person that's the third. Susan's actually the 3rd top income earner, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I touched her.
Yeah, we all touched her.
Yeah.
But Kelly's had one-to-one coaching with her, and oh my gosh, that's worth so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of us have. So, you know, we are very, very close. Our ID number is close to Donna Johnson, and Donna Johnson's business actually turned over £65 million last year, and
No, £670 million throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's just
65 a
that
month.
oh right,
just that month.
65 million a month. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this year we're going to be the
$1 billion.
dollar. So that's really, really exciting, and
Incredible.
to think that we've been
Yeah.
rubbing shoulders with these people, just incredible. But sorry,
She shared a little story actually. Donna said she was on a plane recently and she was sat next to this guy and she sort of was really friendly. And she said, what do you do? And he started explaining what he did. And he was all talking about himself. And she was like, oh, great, that sounds really, really good. He was really successful in his own right. And then towards the end of the plane ride, he actually said to her, well, what do you do then? I don't know if he was just running out of conversation or something. And she said, well, I work for a network marketing company called Arbonne International, and it's just brilliant. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. It takes me all over the world. I get to fly. We're just only in 5 countries at the minute, yet we're a well-established company. Brilliant, absolutely love it. And my business actually turned over £65 million a month. And his jaw about hit the floor. I don't think he could believe it, because some people have this preconceived idea about network marketing. They just think it is just that little lipstick business. But actually it's not. We're turning over, like what Donna Johnson said, almost £1 billion a year of products. What other business does that? Not many. Arbonne is just going to be the household name that everybody is just going to be talking about, to say, gosh, Arbonne, you were involved with Arbonne really early on. That is so exciting. That is exciting. So right, I'll just touch on one more thing and then I'll pass it on to somebody else. So we had a guest speaker in yesterday to train us, and his name was Jerry Roisenthal. I hope I've said that right. He was amazing. He actually did a SoundCloud call on the Go for Gold call in October called Don't Let Doubt Take You Out, and I think it's been reposted on a few of the team pages. Please listen to it if you haven't already, and if you have already, I listened to it on the cruise last year. I thought, wow, this is amazing. He's a little bit like T. Harbecker. He does shout a lot. I personally really like that. I got a lot from it. And he actually built a really successful network marketing business with his wife. I think he said 13 years. And then his wife left him. For whatever reason, their marriage didn't work out. And he found himself in deep depression. And he had this analogy where he was just lying on the floor. I think he said like in fetal position. Yeah. He just didn't want to live anymore. He just hit rock bottom. And then he decided to pick himself up. And one of his friends, Executive National Vice President Betty Beattie, Dr. Beattie, yeah, she said to him, you know, come along to a few Arbonne things, pick yourself back up. And it was during their friendship that she said to him, I think you'd be really good at coaching. And he led into a coaching career, and he says all this on his call, so please do listen to it. And he is a phenomenal coach. He is absolutely amazing, and we've actually asked if he can train at AAC this year because he's so good. He solely only coaches Arbonne consultants, and the reason why he does that is because he wants to make sure that he knows Arbonne inside out, and he absolutely does, and he believes in Arbonne so much. So a couple of things that he said, a couple of his top tips were that our mindset is a choice. It's either a default, so something that we've been brought up with, or our mindset is a design. So it's either default or design. So a lot of us, we've grown up and people have told us things like we're not good enough, or you'll never be able to do that, or what are you thinking doing that, or you're not confident, or you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too this, you're too that. And that is having a default mindset. And a lot of us have that, but then a lot of people decide that actually they're not going to listen to that anymore, and they're going to design their own mindset, and they're going to create their own. And that's what he was saying. He said we either choose to allow it to be a default, or we choose to allow it to be a design. And that's exactly what we're all doing. We're choosing to design our own mindset, a positive mindset. So he said, make sure that you say to yourself, if things like, for example, I am a sponsoring machine in 2016. He said, don't say to yourself, oh, I'm not very good at sponsoring people. I'm not very good at talking about the products. I'm not very good at public speaking. Every time you say things like that, it becomes a reality. What we think about, we bring about. So constantly say to yourself, I am a sponsoring machine in 2016, and keep saying these positive things. Just going back to my notes. So a few of his tips were, he had 6 tips basically. So I'm just going to touch on these 6 tips before I pass you on to these guys. So his 6 things that hold people back. He says there are 6 things that hold consultants back in their business. And I think, to be honest, we can all relate to at least one of these. I know that we were all sort of nodding like, yeah. So number 1, don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare yourself. He was saying that when you see horses racing, they have blinkers on. They have those black blinkers. And the reason why they put the blinkers on horses when they're racing is so they don't see what's going on next to them. They just focus on the road that they are on, and they keep going. And that's what we need. And when we sponsor people into building their own Arbonne business, we need to give our new consultants blinkers so they only focus on what they're doing, what their journey is, and not worry about what anybody else is doing. If you compare yourself to others, you will become bitter. But if you compare yourself to yourself, you will become better. So that was his first tip. And if that's something that you need to work on, do work on it, because, and I can speak for myself, I've had to work really hard on that. And I do genuinely feel really proud when other people get to do something. For example, I'll give you an example. Zoe Allen and Alison Hutchinson went to church this morning, and they said, you'll never guess what. And I was like, what? She goes, Donna Johnson is going to pick us up and take us. I was like, wow, that is amazing. She goes, yeah, and she's going to take us out for dinner. And I was like, what? But I was like, do you know what? I am so pleased for you. I was like, you're going in the car with Donna Johnson. You're going to go out with dinner with Donna Johnson. I was like, I am so pleased for you. I was like, don't get me wrong, I'm jealous. I am so jealous, but I am so thrilled for you. Just like, I won't make it onto the call. I was like, don't worry. We'll be on it. Don't worry. And I'm so pleased for them. But yeah, I am jealous, but I'm so pleased for them. But it depends how you react. I could be sitting here like going, but I'm not. I'm nice about it. So do not compare yourself to other people. Okay, number 2, stop caring what other people think about you. Okay, this is really big. Some people are not going to like you, and we have to accept that. A percentage of people are always not going to like your personality, and we have to be okay about that. And the more people we speak to, the percentage will stay the same about people that like us and people that don't like us. But as we talk to more people, we feel like more people don't like us, but that's because we're focusing on that, and we're forgetting that it's still the exact same percentage. It's just that we're talking to more people, and we're forgetting that more people actually do like us. So as we're all building a network, we are exposing ourselves to a lot more people, and you just have to accept that some people are just not going to like you and your personality and what you're about. And that's okay. Just accept that. And I've had to accept that as well, because as I've grown, I get so many nice comments on Facebook, but then I get the odd negative comment. And I'm always like, why don't they like me? What am I doing wrong? Because some people will just not gel with you. And that is okay. Just be okay about some people not liking you or what you do. It's okay. It's just a percentage of people that we just have to accept. It's just the way it is. So stop trying to please everybody. Don't change who you are. And this is a book recommendation that Jerry gave. It's by Joyce Meyer, and that's called Approval Addiction. And I will type this all up as well. So that was his book recommendation. So number 3, stop trying to please everyone. So that kind of links in a little bit about what I've just said. So number 2 was stop caring about what others think of you. And number 3 was stop trying to please everyone. Number 4, stop spending too much time with too few people. So he said life happens. Life absolutely does happen. The car breaks down. Our parents get ill. Our children get ill. We have to move house. We're getting divorced. Things happen. Life happens. And what we do is we sponsor people into this business, and we think, oh my gosh, I've sponsored 3 people. They're going to be national vice presidents. They're absolutely going to do this. This is amazing. And that's great that you have that belief in them. But you have to remember that life happens to other people. It absolutely does. So don't just sponsor people into your team and stop there with your network. Make sure your network is growing and growing and growing, so that you can be okay about when people ring you up and say, I'm going through a really difficult situation. I'm not going to be bringing in I'm not going to be recommending any products this month because I'm unable to give any time to my business. You need to be in a position where you can say that is absolutely okay. You do what you need to do, because you'll be okay about that if you're sponsored with other people and your network is growing every single month. So that was number 4. Number 5, stop managing the players on the bench. Now, I'm not going to go into loads of detail on this because we've actually posted a video of this exact tip. And he gave us 2 facts. He said, fact number 1, every major sport has players on the bench than they do on the field. So in football, you'll see more players on the bench at a football match than you will do actually on the pitch. And that's the same with any major sport. And he said that's the same as Arbonne. So we are going to have more people in our network, in our business, that are on the bench, maybe just buying products for themselves, possibly recommended to their mum, their dad, their sister, their uncle, and just occasionally recommending, and they're on the bench, and that's okay. But we need to be spending time with the people that are actively doing this business. So fact number 2 is you'll never see a head coach of a sports game coaching the people on the bench. And Jerry did a really great example of a coach at a football game coaching the people on the bench. He said you'll never see that. You only see people coaching the people out on the field. So make sure that you're spending your time coaching the people in your network that are out on the field, building this business and growing a network, recommending these products, and be okay with the people that do sit on the bench. I highly recommend that you watch the video that we've shared of him talking about that. And number 6 is let go of the past. So your past does not define you, it prepares you. So if you feel like, oh, I'm not confident, I'm not this, I'm not that, why would someone want to join my network? Why would someone feel like I'm credible enough to recommend products? Let go of your past. You can learn to do anything you want to do. Anything you want to do, you can learn to do it. So just let go of what it is that's holding you back, and just decide, even if you decide today, tonight, tomorrow, decide that you are going to be an absolute superstar. You're going to learn the skills that you need to learn to be that person that you want to be. It doesn't matter about your past. There is somebody in Arbonne right now that has the same situation as you or worse, and they are succeeding. So do not let that define you. Absolutely do not let that define you, whether you don't have a lot of time, whether you're just a team of one, whether you don't know the products well enough, whether you don't know the business well enough. It doesn't matter. There is somebody in your shoes right now or worse that is succeeding because they're not letting the past define them. So those are the six key points that Jerry talked about that hold us back. So I'm going to actually pass you on to somebody else now so that they can do a little bit of talking. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk, but I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you for jumping on the call. As always, the people on the call are in the top 5%. So thank you very much for jumping on this call. Oh my goodness, this weekend has been absolutely incredible. I'm just going to tell you my top tips so far. So when Donna Johnson told us about this guy looking at her like, oh, just a little lipstick business, and she was like, oh, actually, my business turned over $65 million last month, and he nearly, his jaw dropped to the floor. I got from that bit of proof. People might think this is a little lipstick business, but you've got to prove them wrong. And people think that because people come in, it's a very low setup, costs £56, and don't give it their all. And you've got to be the proof, because if you really go for this and keep it going, you will succeed, and you'll be the proof that it's not just a little lipstick business. Another tip was make a decision. So you're in charge of your thoughts and your feelings. Zoe's back. Hi. Zoe and Alison are back. So yeah, decide about your feelings. So you can choose to get cross about things. You always make a decision how you react or how you respond. Okay, so you can choose to be cross, or you can choose to let things go. Okay, so you can choose to let things go or just be cross about things. Okay, so you make that decision, and decide to come here next year and meet these people and rub shoulders with them, because you can't pay for that kind of experience. You can't pay for that. Okay, also don't stay at district. So it's a 3-month plan. You want to be a district manager, bonus in district, and then go to area manager qualification to keep that momentum. Once you've hit that, keep it going. Don't just sit at district. And then a big thing for me is my belief in Arbonne was big anyway, but being here, it's just simply exploded. Okay, so again, like I say, or like Danny said, we met a guy called Jerry Rosenthal, and just so many influential people, such successful people that are just at that next level. And you want to be surrounding yourself, like Jim Rohn says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. So coming to places like this and surrounding yourself with these people and making friendships with them. You know, we're going to go to GTC and Susan's going to all know us by first name terms. I'm going to bring, you know, Danny back next year and bring the girls over to see her. She's relocating, and it's building that friendship and having that success, you know, successful people around you and you become successful as well. Oh, also, one thing I haven't written down was Thomas, who's Donna's husband. He said you only need 2 things to be successful, and that's to read books and surround yourself with successful people. So anybody can be successful. You know, I'm going to pass it on. I don't want to take it too much time.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi. Okay, right. So something that I want to share with you from what I've taken from this weekend. So this weekend has been absolutely incredible, and I feel kind of a little bit starstruck, a little bit overwhelmed. Everyone else feeling overwhelmed?
Yes, very.
Yeah. Incredibly overwhelmed, and I have to keep pinching myself to actually think that I'm here. So I just really, really want to thank my upline, who are all here, which is incredible, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for saying yes. It's been amazing. It's been incredible, the friendships that have formed, you know, and I've learnt to Western dance. It's amazing with Fiona. That's great. Yeah, and everything else. I'm
amazing what the upline can teach you.
And it's amazing what the upline can teach me. Yeah, I mean, of course, like, no, jokes aside, I have learnt some serious business stuff. I have, but I have had so much fun, and it's just been incredible. So I would really, really like to thank, and I think he's on the call, my husband. I'd like to thank Simon so much for allowing me to. Oh, bless you, Kelly.
You're going to make us look bad.
Yeah,
we all think this. Can you do that on behalf of
on behalf of everyone? On behalf of everyone, thanks Simon for allowing me and for staying at home and looking after Cleo and just being absolutely incredible. And thank everyone else's husbands as well. But I kind of, my Arbonne journey, and I was actually talking to Simon about this, and we've got the trolley going by. Okay, so I was talking to Simon about this a couple of weekends ago, and I was trying to compare my Arbonne journey and everyone's Arbonne journey when they join Arbonne, and it's kind of like, have you all seen the film The Goonies? Yeah, The Goonies. Everyone's seen The Goonies?
Is that the one where there's that guy and he's got the
Here you
go.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. So everyone starts their
I don't
Arbonne
know where
business.
you're going to go with
You
this.
don't. Bear with. Okay. Everyone. There is a point. Wait. Someone talking and let me get it out. Okay. So the point of it is, everyone starts their Arbonne journey, and for the majority of people, it's everyone wants a little bit more money. I mean, admittedly, that was me. I wanted more money. It wasn't anything to do with personal development or anything at the time. I wanted more money. Let's let's be honest here. I wanted that extra income. And then it changed. And it's the same with the guys who are in the Goonies. They started off their adventure because they wanted to find that gold at the end of the day. They wanted to find the treasure in Wild Willie's. Was it Wild Willie? I don't know what it was. One-Eye Willie. One-Eye Willie. In his One-Eye Willie's boat, right? No, it's Wild Willie. Yeah. So One-Eye Willie's boat, and they were on this treasure map, and they were on this journey, and the journey actually what it gave them, and this journey turned out to be creating friendships. It was an amazing journey. They learned so much. They shared the time together. It was good times. They learned so much and developed, and they were all different people, like, at the end of it, and everything that they gained. And then you see the treasure in the ships going off into the sunset. So it wasn't the treasure and the money that they were after all along. So it's the same with those guys. We all started off with that one thing of wanting the money. We all wanted the money. And then it turns out that you've got the personal development. You develop and bloom into so much that it gives you confidence, your belief, your self-belief is incredible. And what it gives you, friendship, the success, you know, and at the end of the day, we've all got pretty amazing skin as well because of it. So it's just it's a winner for everything, really. So that's kind of, it's the journey, and it's helped me with my journey. And also I have to admit, it's helped me with my belief as well, because I think we all hear about Susan McCann and how amazing she is, and we all hear about these MVPs, and it's incredible. We read it, we watch on the Eye on Arbonne's and everything. It isn't actually until you come here and you meet them, and they are so incredibly down to earth and so incredibly welcoming and so friendly and open. Very. And I feel absolutely privileged that I had 15 minutes with Susan, and she helped me work out like a strategy that I'm going to take home to my team, and we're going to go sod region, we're going nation.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, high five.
And it's the belief that it's given me, and I want to do this, and it's not about the money anymore. It's what I want to create a legacy. I want to create a legacy for my family, for Simon, for Cleo. I want to create a legacy for my team. I want to give my directs that opportunity that they can go on and create this themselves as well. I want them to give their directs the opportunity, and so on, so that, you know, I can, in a few years' time, afford to pay for everyone to come out either, well, it's going to be Arizona. I mean, I love it. It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be Arizona. To come out and experience it. Yeah, we've got the boots now. Here, isn't it? It has to be. And I've learned to dance as well. It's great. And we saw cage fighting last night. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought that? Yeah, I know.
Female cage fighting.
Female cage fighting. It was cool. That wasn't part of the incentive. I don't think. That was just me and Fiona on an adventure. So what this has given me is a vision, a huge vision. It's developed my vision, and it's developed my belief as well. It's cemented my belief. So that's kind of, and a suntan as well, I think, hopefully. The sun's back out again. Yeah. Cool. So thank you.
Thank you, darling.
No worries.
I'm not going to speak for long because Zoe and Alison are just back from church and lunch with Donna and Thomas. So they are going to be on fire. So we want to really lap in all this crazy feeling they're feeling right now. I'm just going to summarize really this weekend. And Kelly sort of mentioned about successful people look for wisdom, unsuccessful people look for money. And what you realize when you're hanging around with these six-figure income earners is that it goes way beyond the money. I'm just going to stop while we get a Arizona interruption. Yeah. You sure he's Bob? Last night, so we were like, oh my god! Oh wait, comes and twos. Yes, so it does. It goes way beyond the money. And initially, you know, if money is your thing, then that's okay too. Most of us, we go to bed not worrying about the wrinkles on our skin. You know, it's about the bills we have to pay. Money is up there with oxygen, like it or not. So you can say it's about the money. It's okay to say that. And many people start into this business because they're attracted by the lifestyle and what we can have. And I know why Facebook, you know, many people are seeing our posts and having been amazing pictures, guys. I know so many people of you are watching, commenting, and that is what you can have as well. So I really highly encourage you, you know, when we get back, Susan gave us all personal training, and we can share that with you, how to help you, to help all of us to keep building, to get Donna Johnson to that $1 billion turnover. That's our goal, is to get her there, because, you know, that would be phenomenal. And we're all here helping one another all the time. So I'm just going to quickly say that one thing, Thomas Tidland, he's a phenomenal man. In fact, he's at the top of his network marketing company, and he said something I love. And I think what's happened to all of us, doesn't matter where you are in your Arbonne business, your vision expands. And that's why this is such a powerful place to come to, because you see so much more and you become so much more. And because you are so much more and you realize your greatness. So he said something about this time last year, think about where you were in your business, and now where you are here this time this year, and where will you be this time next year, because we're all going to be growing, because we're not going to stop reading and turning up events and plugging in. And we're off again. Oh, this one's the yellow one, but I'm going to keep talking because it's not as loud. So one thing he did say is, I didn't come this far to only come this far. You know, that's true, guys. The growth you're going to have now will be much, you know, this time next year, it'll be a lot more. So remember that I didn't come this far to only come this far. So where are you going, and why wait? Okay, it doesn't matter how, you know, it doesn't matter. You will grow the best, be the best version of you, and make sure you are here next year if you're serious about building your business and your team. So I'm going to pass it over to the late ones.
Yeah, they've been out for dinner with Donna Johnson. Not that we're jealous. Hi. Happy Mother's Day. I've got a Mother's Day badge on. It's a bit wonky.
Yeah, well, I think we're a bit giddy, but no, I mean, we just
Bit giddy.
yeah.
I mean, we're like fans. So we went for lunch. Well, we went to church with Donna Johnson, the most amazing spiritual church I've ever been in. Probably 2,000 people. And then
Massive.
we went for lunch with them. And then Donna said, now there's a lovely little boutique over the road. Should we go shopping? So we got back in the car with our little shopping bag. And
It's rude not to.
And Thomas is driving. And I said, can I just have a moment? I went shopping with Donna Johnson. Okay. Back to reserved English girl. Oh my goodness, yeah, amazing.
And yeah, like Fiona said, I mean, Thomas as well is the top of his game in network marketing. They're just a power couple, but so nice. So nice. And I'm so blessed. We're so grateful to have them in our upline as well and to have that experience. And Thomas is just full of wisdom, and we've just had an incredible conversation with him about objections and people in his team, and it's all about, for us, the better we are understanding each other and other people and where they're at, and there's appreciating their goals and not forcing our goals onto them. So it's okay, not all of us want to be national vice presidents. Well, I do. It's fine. But if he was talking about somebody in his team that their goal was just to be able to buy a bookshelf. So that was their goal. And once they achieve that goal and they realize that goals and achieving a goal is possible, then they can expand that goal to something more and something else and grow with them. And it really is about understanding others. And even when somebody objects, it's usually the common objections, things like, I have no time, or I don't want to leave the children. It's like, that's not the real issue. So it's like, okay, so if you did have the time, or if you did were able to leave the children to build them a legacy, to build them a future, then would you be able to do it? And then the real objection comes out, which is usually money. And he said, okay.
Or self-belief.
Or self-belief. And when you know that, then you can really address that. There's ways around that. Okay? We can start you for £56, and there's ways of working with this. It's really understanding and digging beneath the surface when you're getting to know somebody and you're working with them as well. He said arrogance is often, the more arrogant somebody is or aggressive, then often that boils down because they have the lack of money and they're covering it up with that arrogance. And so when you can dig a little bit deeper and you really get to connect with them, then you can help them and we can understand them and help them in this business. And then he said, often from time to time, I will turn around to somebody and say, actually, I don't think this is for you. I'm sorry, this is not for you. And he's waiting for that reaction. If they just sit back and go, yeah, okay. Then you go, okay, that's fine. But if they lean in and go, hang on a minute, why not? Then you know that you've got somebody that really wants this. We're just all about understanding human beings and each other. And yeah, he was great. He's just incredible. So I will follow him on Facebook. He put some great posts up.
So yeah, it was just a whole experience like that. I mean, we are giddy with excitement because it is like being with complete superstar rock stars who have just heard all those objections and know how to handle them and yet still get them. And just because we're at the top of our game or they're at the top of their game doesn't mean they're not going to get those. And it's about just knowing that the person you are is what matters, and that the people that are saying no to you are actually not saying no to you, they're saying no to themselves. And often they're not saying no, they're just saying not now. I'm not ready, I'm not brave enough, it's not now. So one of the things, we came home with Pat, who's Donna's PA, and has been for like I thought it was a Pat in church. Pat has been her PA all Donna's Arbonne life.
29 years.
29 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, the thing that Donna is so good at is just loving them where they are. And she says, I've got people on the system that have been with us for 20 years and place orders every now and again. The girls have probably talked to you about people sitting on the bench. Did you cover? Yeah. So they're probably just sitting on the bench. But she said, every now and again, we just reach out and we say, how are things? Are you all right? Do you need anything? We're here for you if you ever want to get started. And it's their journey. And you just have to be there to make friends for people. And just having them in your life, but on the bench, is absolutely fine. Because if you haven't got people on the bench, then actually it's quite lonely, just the same 11 people on the football field playing football every week, week in, week out. You need that dynamics of that other people coming to and fro. So really interesting. And then he recommended a few good books to us. So we get in the car and he's got his audio playing. You know, they live it. We were trying to remember. I've got it on my video. I've got it on my camera. Yeah, can you hear that? Kenny says he's rocking out to Bon Jovi, really.
Yeah.
And
It was something about positive thinking, and it was by somebody quite dated.
Yeah, it was quite. It was like, yeah, we'll come up with it.
Yeah.
And we asked him for his top 3 people that have influenced him.
And he was like, dead or alive? We're like, they can be dead, it's fine.
So Jesus Christ
is number 1.
So read Luke, the book Luke in the New Testament, because the leader that Jesus is in the book of Luke is actually what we all need to do, because he went out with love and friendship. And you don't have to be Christian to get this, but actually if you can just understand that, then life is just so much easier, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to love and befriend people. And if actually they then come into our bond, great. And if they don't, you've just got a new friend. So that was his top one.
That's the one.
His second one was Napoleon Hill. So Think and Grow Rich, which he loved. But better than that, he loved a book called
Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil. And I think we've just found it on YouTube.
Yeah, we've put it on our region.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second Napoleon Hill book, and it was kept from publication for years, like generations, decades.
Yeah.
Because it was so controversial.
So
and he said that's amazing. So that's on YouTube for free.
Yeah. And then Earl Nightingale. And if you remember when I went to Green Bay last year, Earl Nightingale and the White Horse Leader was what we were doing, and that became the sort of theme for the whole of Green Bay. So that was a really big thing. And he, again, has one of those really quietly spoken, probably 1950s, I would think, sort of demeanours, but actually some really powerful messages that just never, ever date. Yeah. So, thinking about Green Bay. The girls asked me last night if I could only choose to go to one thing, where would I go? Now, this year, I'm doing all 3. I've done Arizona. I'm doing Vegas. I'm already booked for Vegas. Tickets have sold out for Vegas. And I'm definitely doing Green Bay. Because Green Bay last year is like an area training like this. You have to be an area manager or above to earn it. But then there are no requirements. You don't have to have achieved it. You can just go, but you do have to pay for it. So you need to start budgeting for it now. So if you haven't budgeted for Vegas, but you want a great global training later this year, and it's August 25th to the 27th in Green Bay, which is Wisconsin in America. So the sort of northern America before you get to Canada. An amazing training. And you can still get last year's audios from the whole training by going on to Donna Johnson's webpage, and I think it's about $20. Spirit
charity to download.
Yeah, and all the money goes to charity. But yeah, absolutely amazing.
And while we were talking to Donna Johnson, she was talking about how to rally up to the next level. So she has rally to district, rally to area, and rally to region Facebook pages. So we're going to pop her a message to be added into those groups. So I'm sure once we're in them, can we add? We should be able to add the team into them. So we're going to message her and get into those groups. So she's got some great calls for rallying too. She did the calls last year, but they're all still really relevant. So you can go back to the calls that are all recorded in each of those groups as well. So you can work towards your next level. Should we hand over to Suzanne?
Yeah, so we're going to hand over to Suzanne now, if you're there, Suzanne. Just to
by the pool. Yeah. Is she by the pool or in the room?
She's sitting with all our bags by the pool.
Where is she?
She's got Wi-Fi down there.
Yeah, she's all right.
Suzanne, are you there?
She might not have Wi-Fi strong enough.
Hi everybody, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I am sat down here by the pool watching the bags indoors. I have suffered some rain, I do have to tell you, but it is amazing. I think everybody's just said everything actually. I've been sat here listening. My battery on my iPad has gone, so I'm now on my phone. But yes, you just have to get here. It's been absolutely awesome. You just can't describe it. It's just phenomenal. It really is areas in paradise. It's like a film set basically. So yeah, the training's been fantastic. The one-to-ones with Susan McCannon was just mind-blowing. She's just such an incredible lady. So much wisdom, so much inspiration. She is absolutely in awe of the UK team. She is so proud of us. I think everybody else must have been fed up of her telling them that she was, because that's all she kept saying. She was really pleased. Obviously, last year there was just Zoe and Danny here, and now there are 7 of us here. So we've told her to be prepared for next year, because there will be more of us here. So I know this call's been going on for quite a while, so I think that's me over and out by the pool side. I will just see if I can flick my screen around just to show you all. I don't know if you can see. There is the pool. So yeah, we need to fill it next year. So I'll pass it. This is the mess that we've created around the pool. Yeah, so get it in your plans, get your goal set, speak to your upline, get organised, and make sure you're here next year. It's phenomenal. So back to whoever's going to finish off. Zoe, Danny, whoever.
Thank you, Suzanne. So thank you all for being on the call tonight. I know it's late there in the UK, but a great start to the week. And we'll be back tomorrow. We land at 1:30 in Heathrow, and we'll be back for Nation training in Sysonby Knoll, 7 o'clock, 7:30 start tomorrow evening. So can't wait to see you all there. You would be pleased to know that it's actually been a bit cloudy, so I'm getting paler as my fake tan is rubbing off rather than browner. So I know John will be pleased with that. I need to re-top up my fake tan. But can't wait to see you all tomorrow night. Really look forward to it. And yeah, let's get rocking this business up to the next level. Woo-hoo. Bye, everybody. Night, night. Bye. Bye.